to extend a warm welcome to all of you who have assembled to understand the program that we have planned for the annual meeting of the Indian Academy of Sciences. It happens to be the 85th annual meeting of the Indian Academy of Sciences, for which I am joined by our esteemed President, Professor Partha Majumdar. In fact, I would first like to request Professor Majumdar to brief about the Indian Academy and the program that has been chalked out by the Indian Academy jointly with University of Hyderabad. Later, I will take some more details if something is left. I request Professor Partha Majumdar to address.
So first of all, let me express my deepest gratitude to all of you for coming over. It's really a pleasure for me to be here and to meet all of you and tell you about the Academy and about the annual meeting that we are holding in the city of Hyderabad, that's being hosted by the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the city of the University of Hyderabad on his premises, and it's supposed to be, one expects that it is going to be a very vibrant meeting. I'm also joined by two of the secretaries of the Academy, Professor Rene Borges from the Indian Institute of Science and Professor Umesh Wagmare from the Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. We also have our Executive Secretary of the Academy, Mr. Mahesh Chandra, who is conducting this entire proceedings. Before I tell you about what's in the program, in the agenda for the annual meeting of the Academy, let me tell you a little bit about the Academy itself. The Academy stands for upliftment of science in India, for promotion of science and scientific temper in India. This is essentially what the Academy stands for. That's the hallmark of the Academy. We do this in multiple ways. First of all, let me tell you that as Professor Apparao Pudele has said, that this is our 85th birthday in some ways. We were born 85 years ago in 1934, and Sir C.V. Raman established the Indian Academy of Sciences. Like I said, that we promote science and we stand for science and scientific temper, and we do this in multiple ways. One of the most important ways that we do it is to promote science among school children and college children. We do this by providing fellowships to about 2,000 students annually, and these students would get placements in various research institutions and work in these research institutions, and that's their first hands-on introduction to scientific research in various science institutions, mostly among the fellowship of the Academy. The fellowship of the Academy comprises a large number of accomplished scientists who work in various Indian institutions, and we also have a number of foreign fellows, honorary fellows we call them. They are from Nobel laureates and others, very accomplished scientists who work in various other countries of India, of the world. So this comprises our fellowship. This is what we do for promotion of science among young children. We also hold for young school and college and university children and teachers who have joined colleges and other institutions through the form of lecture workshops and refresher courses. So essentially we bring them up to where science stands today through these lecture workshops and refresher courses. We also have various other kinds of activities that are involved in science promotion, in the pursuit of science. One of them is called scientific values. We have to have a set of protocols or a set method of conducting science, and science has a value system associated with it, and we promote scientific values, good scientific values, and this is done by a panel. And so there's been a very great gender disparity in science over the years, which is now becoming almost equal. It's still not equal, it's getting there. So the sort of gender representation in scientific institutions in the conduct of science is getting more even, and we do have a panel on women in science who actually promote gender equity in science and those kinds of things. We also, science publication, one of the hallmarks of science is publishing your results, and the publication of results also has some ethical standards associated with it. So we have a panel on publication ethics as well. So scientific values and publication ethics constitutes one pillar of how we promote good science, and the other is gender equity in science, which is promoted by a panel on women in science. So this is what our academy stands for, and this is and we've been doing this for the past 85 years, like Professor Vice Chancellor said. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going on in the annual meetings. The annual meetings has some kind of a set protocol. We have a bunch of lectures, special lectures by very renowned people, and I'll tell you who the people are this time. We have some public lectures, and also we try to promote science in the form of culture. We'll narrate to the entire fellowship, whoever is present during the annual meeting, what they have done, the kind of accomplishments in science that they have made, and so on and so forth. So we have a whole bunch of lectures. This year we have as special lectures, essentially 3 special lectures this year. One is being given by Professor K. Vijayaraghavan, who is the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. And he's talking about science and technology in India in the age of the Anthropocene, which is essentially today's period. So he's going to talk about science and technology in today's period in India. The second talk is being given by Justice James Chalmeshwar, and he is talking to us about what does the Constitution really mean. The Constitution, as you know, has multiple kinds of activity, or stands for multiple kinds of activities and actions. So it's also, there are multiple kinds of interpretations of various clauses of the Constitution, and I think he's going to tell us about what these interpretations mean and overall what the Constitution means. The third one, like I said, is essentially a confluence between science and art, and this is going to be given by Padma Vibhushan Sonal Mansingh. She, as you know, is an accomplished dancer and as a school has promoted Indian art in the form of dance, and she will talk about Indian dance, the science of the art. The last thing that I want to say is that one of the reasons why this academy is well known throughout the world is because the academy publishes a large number of journals. And these journals constitute, is really the embodiment of the kind of work that's done, not just in India but throughout the world. The Academy publishes 9 journals in print form. One, a little bit non-technical, meant for more like the school and college and first year university students. That journal is called Resonance. And one which is completely online, which is called Confluence. And that's really not a journal in a technical sense. It's more like a debate. It's more like, you say something, somebody else provides another view. So those are really viewpoints, confluence of viewpoints. So these are the 11 journals that we publish. Our journals, the Indian Academy of Science journals, are now published by the most famous publisher in the world called Springer Nature. So Springer Nature now publishes jointly with the Indian Academy of Sciences the 9 journals that are published by the Academy. All of the publications of the Indian Academy of Sciences are freely downloadable. So this is completely open access, freely downloadable, and therefore we stand for free downloads and free access to information, free access to scientific information. So to sum up, essentially the Academy stands for good science, good promotion of science in equitable ways, and promoting it not just from not just in the form of higher education, but also in the form of primary education to school children and going up. So it's essentially a bottom-up approach that the Academy has been taking, and all of this will be enshrined to a certain extent, although during the annual meetings the lectures are very technical, but there are public lectures, there are special lectures, etc. And through you, I want to make an appeal to the people of Hyderabad and to the people of India to participate in our annual meeting. Some of the symposia, there will be 2 symposia as well, one's on plants and pathogens, and the other is in memory of a very famous physicist, an American Indian physicist by the name E.C.G. Sudarshan, a very high-level theoretical physicist. So we'll have a symposium in his honor also, and that symposium will be live streamed to the rest of the world, and we already know that there is a great excitement in the world to listen to the various talks that will be delivered during this symposium. The Plant and Pathogen Symposium is also very important. As you know, many of our crops are affected by various kinds of pathogens. Pathogens destroy these crops, and we've always felt that it is in the pathogens that we need to study the pathogens and not the plants themselves. But we now know that both the plant and the pathogen will interact. Their genetic situations will interact. So here is a symposium that's being held to understand this interaction, and we have very eminent Indian scientists who have spent a lifetime understanding or studying these kinds of interactions, and many of those lectures will actually be provided during this symposium. So all in all, we are poised to have a very vibrant and exciting annual meeting, and we hope that you will pass on the word through your newspapers, etc., for the public in general to come and attend to some of these lectures on tomorrow night, right? When is the dance recital?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so tomorrow night we also have, after Dr. Sonal Mansing's lecture on Indian dance, the science of the art, she's also hosting or holding, her troupe is going to provide a dance recital, and that's also open to the public. Thank you very much.
We are all, we were actually happy when the Academy has given us an opportunity to organize this annual meeting this year, which is a very prestigious event. Therefore, we consider it as an honor for University of Hyderabad. And when there is a big team of faculty who have worked very closely with the, particularly the Executive Secretary and the Academy office bearers, and to oversee how we can generate and organize a very good meeting. A gist of it, Professor Panda has already mentioned to you. There are two important symposia, and one would be on biology side, and the other one is on physical sciences side. And the biology side, he has mentioned the host-pathogen interaction is an important one. You know, Soban Datta, who has been a former Deputy Director General and a well-known plant biotechnologist, and another great plant biotechnologist, Deepak Mental, who has been a Vice Chancellor of the Delhi University and also a very well-known researcher in transgenic plants, and he is also going to deliver a lecture there. And in addition, we have a very senior scientist, Professor P.K. Gupta, very famous geneticist. He is also participating. Like this, the conveners of the symposium have chosen the best of the scientists available in the country, because these are all the fellows of the Academy. And it is the fellows of the Academy who are all invited to share their experience and their research work in this particular annual meeting. And apart from that, it is a wonderful opportunity for us at university and for anyone who would be participating to understand the current trends, the newly elected fellows of the Academy, and the research associates. We also elect associates for the Academy. There will be a blend of lectures given by these young associates and the fellows during this Academy annual meeting. So we get to see what are all the new trends that are there in Indian science. Of course, Indian science, when I say, it's not that we are limiting to India. Well, some of them will be focused on Indian problems, but definitely they are all contemporary areas of research. And in these areas of research, we get to see very good lectures, because these are selected cream, as you can understand. When I say fellows of the Academy and associates are very selectively chosen by the Academy through a rigorous review process. So you will see wonderful lectures, a feast of scientific lectures, I would say. And on the sidelines of it, we also encourage a lot of activity for the young children from the schools, and also some of course, our own science students and students from other places. And the third component that the Academy encourages is to involve teachers in science. From different places they are selected, and these teachers are also brought to the Academy annual meeting, and for them to have an exposure to the latest developments in science. So these are some of the highlights of the annual meeting, and we are excited. And as you could see, there is an excitement in our president's speech as well, that he's excited about the annual meeting. We are excited about hosting the meeting, and so many of them are working back in the university to have a wonderful meeting in the next 3 days. So we thought it's the best opportunity for us to share with all of you, and through you, as he has rightly mentioned, and I always mention to you, and through you, we want to reach to the public and convey to them that Indian science is progressing, and this is where it is, this is how it is progressing, and we wish some of you take part and try to understand, although we may be giving some brief press notes as at the end of the day, you are all welcome to be there and to understand, and then highlight some of the lectures that are presented during the annual meeting. That would be a great service from your side to take the science closer to the people. This is an effort which the academies are doing, and we just are joining hands with the academy to bring the science closer to the society. And I'm ready to, because some of them, I know, for me, it is easy for me to follow what he said. A lot of activities that the academy does, and if you want to have some clarification, both of us are ready to give you a little more details of any of the events that we organize for the Indian Academy of Sciences on the annual meeting itself. Open to you all for any clarifications if you need.
But before that, let me ask my colleagues.
Umesh, you would like to add something?
Would like to add something? Similarly, Renee.
So, although the Indian Academy of Sciences has its own character, it cooperates and works very harmoniously with other academies. And of recent times, Partha has even started connecting with the state academies and state councils in science and technology to develop this network. And the annual meeting, which is this year in Hyderabad, earlier years, this meeting was in Shillong, Banaras, and Bhopal. So you can see that the efforts are made by the academy to reach out to really different parts of India, and we are really appreciative of the University of Hyderabad to make special effort to sort of be very inclusive of all the institutions. Hyderabad has many good quality science institutions, and all of them are involved in this meeting in one way or another.
Renee, would you like to add
Thank
something?
you, Dr. Umesh, for adding the most important point which I have missed. We have organized, this is University of Hyderabad is the place, physical location where the meeting is happening. Otherwise, all the academic institutions and scientific research laboratories, plenty of them are there in Hyderabad. Every one of them have been in the loop. They have attended a couple of meetings that we have organized. We sat together, discussed about how do we work together and how we organize this program together. And this is, we have a lot of cooperation from the institutes of Indian Council for Agricultural Research, ICR institutes located in Rajendra Nagar, plenty of them. And the CSIR laboratories that are like the CCMB and CDFD, sorry, not IICT and NGRI, and the DBT laboratories like CDFD and National Institute of Animal Biotechnology.
54 fellows of the academy are currently in the city, associates and fellows. So I think that's also a good indication of how excellent science is being conducted and being done and nurtured in Hyderabad. And I think, therefore, I'm sure that this meeting is going to be a resounding success. And I do invite all of you, wholeheartedly to participate, and as the earlier speakers have said, particularly our president, please promote the activities of the Academy of Sciences through your newspaper or whatever other media that you are involved with.
Well, again, I will express my deepest gratitude to all of you for assembling here, for listening to us, and my appeal to you would be, please promote the cause of science as we espouse through the Indian Academy of Sciences, and ask the general public of Hyderabad to attend as many of these sessions that are being held in the Zakir Hussain Auditorium of the University of Hyderabad. Many of them will be understandable to the general public, and certainly all of them will be understandable to the educated public of the University of Hyderabad. I also express my gratitude to the Vice Chancellor, Sir, of the University of Hyderabad for hosting us, and not just hosting us, but getting the entire city of Hyderabad activated and excited about the meeting that's coming up starting tomorrow. Thank you very much.